the Jet. So interestingly enough, Sky will be elected for Will. We'll see what he's got up his sleeve. But we are live into our first map now, as we'll be jumping in with EZ5 on the defense and BBG on the attack.
Yeah, and again, just really curious about this KO. We did see Teal really popularizing KO lately over on 100 Thieves during this last Challenges playoffs, and it worked out pretty well. 100 Thieves, of course, qualifying for Berlin. And this is one of the maps where Teal is really trying to put KO to good use, and definitely an agent that can be really good as a supporting character to set up his teammates. So we'll see how that plays out. Also can gain a little bit of info with that knife, but not exact information that a Sky or a Sova can find.
I got the spike.
Well, dark covers have been put down. Spike picked up now from Rockart. Looking to try and push through middle, but this is where Cypher is going to still have impact with the trap wire down. So they're either going to have to clear that one out and give their position away, or indeed run through that. And it'll be much more the latter rather than the former, because it's Jet, he can just run straight through and start getting that spike planted. Poach takes off the head of Pancakes as he tries to get in amongst all of the action. Although it's a post plant, Gucci instantly comes in with the classic, but there is a flanking effect from Will.
Yeah, this is big because they're not being pigeonholed into purely playing post plant from middle with the spike down at B. They're able to get into garage. They're going to be able to start backstabbing the C-Link area, and that's going to give them some ways to maybe alleviate this retake as we're seeing Fragment changing back and forth. Kanpeki with a couple of big ones alongside Gucci, but Will's still standing, trying to clutch this one out.
He has the frenzy as well, can put those bullets down range, and although he does connect a headshot on Com, it won't be good enough. We'll be close to a defusal, but they'll get it done. An EZ5 take first blood with 4 seconds to spare.
Yeah, it's just one of those classic B executes where you're just trying to get that shallow front side of the site, get that spike down, play post-plant primarily from middle, and just kind of rely on post-plant utilities such as shock darts or nano swarms, whatever the case may be, to try to disrupt any type of defusals. Again, I like that they added taking garage control and trying to sweep through the site, but Kanpeki and company just so brilliant with their pistol work to make sure they stayed out in front in those exchanges and ultimately able to get that defusal. That'll reward them with these Spectres, Ares, Kanpeki sticking with the Sheriff to perhaps make sure they can get an early operator. And so this should be a 2-0 start now for EZ5 as, oh, not even able to get the orb with Will. So I thought he was just going to get a freebie orb to build up that Seekers for later, but he gets picked off.
A barrage of bullets from the Ares delivered first class will deny the ultimate orb, but I don't think they'll go back there again. They're a bit too worried, especially as that utility that was covering it is no longer there. Ares strikes for a second time. It's looking pretty grim. I think that 2-0 prediction is certainly going to come to fruition. Now, they may get a plant out of this one, though. Gucci doesn't want to get too aggressive, and Trill takes his head off. Things getting interesting all of a sudden.
Yeah, big spike plant. They actually plant it for a link, so they can play it from that side as opposed to being funneled through middle, but there's just so many EZ5 members left with the superior firepower. Owl Drone comes through, doesn't spot Bior, so Bior able to get a freebie, but Kanpeki's quick to trade. That should be it. Calm, settling it, getting us back to the sense of normalcy. Only Rarkar left, and yeah, he's flipped off deep. He's not going to be able to do much here. As you said, though, pretty great that they were able to get a plan out of that. And a big round for Calm, I must say. Definitely did some brilliant work with that Ares. I think he wound up with 3 kills on the round, Vince, and also worth noting that this is a pretty big change for Calm. Calm was a big-time Sova player back in his Complexity days earlier this year. He's now making a swap over to the Sentinels as, of course, Critical comes in to be that Sova who was, again, a former BBG member. He's still wearing the tag here on the scoreboard, so that just goes to show you that some players having to make some adjustments, but so far, so good.
Yeah, very nice couple of opening rounds. However, because they did concede 2 plays, that's replenished weapons needing to be picked up. You can see a Sheriff. This is very much the definition of a bonus round. They've not really invested too much into it. Kanpeki, with the Sheriff, is going to get a bit antsy down sewers. Did spot a couple of pixels, but can't really convert off them just yet.
Yeah, just kind of the classic default you're going to see on this map, where it's just constant battling back and forth for information and map control on this A side. As Kanpeki was looking to get a little bit aggressive on sewers, maybe get a pick, maybe get some intel, doesn't get it. Oh, gets flashed by his teammate and doesn't really phase BBG, so Kanpeki unable to really build off of that flash from Pancakes, or just have to kind of back off back into sight. Meanwhile, BBG takes some really good map control towards sewers and long position. They also still have a little bit of mid presence that's making it hard for EZ5 to read and rotate, but with that all said, they still have 3 players here to defend this site.
Yeah, they do. They've definitely gamble stacked on the A side of the map, and Cypher will allow you to do that with all the utility he can bring to the table. You can see, though, that BBG haven't fully committed behind this. With 43 seconds, they've decided to go all the way back towards C-Long.
Yeah, no one knows about this yet. I mean, they're committed to just reinforcing a site right now. The only person nearby is going to be their Cypher, who's actually just playing outside of Garage, and they're going to get C-Site for fee. This will force EZ5 to play for the retake. Now, they have plenty of utility. They have good firepower, so it's not like they're completely out of it. Again, a lot of teams elect to kind of, you know, have to play these retake sets because the map is so large with 3 sites. You kind of have to hedge your bets and then just play for retake if it's required. So we'll see if they can come up with it, as it's going to be a plant and everyone funneling out the long C. They're going to have a lot of utility to stop this confused Vince.
Oh, they really are. They need Critical to maybe connect something through the dark cover. Won't be forthcoming. And although the spike gets tickled, this is where all the spray up on long. They know exactly where the spike is planted. There is such a little opportunity for EZ5. And although Kanpeki has the Sheriff in his hands, maybe he can put down some one-taps. It's looking unlikely. This round is falling very quickly in favor of BBG. Now, there's not a great deal to save in this situation for EZ5, apart from maybe, you know, having Cypher alive, but honestly, a pretty solid take from BBG. It was a really impressive hit.
Yeah, really good feint over towards the A side of the map, really putting a lot of pressure, forcing respect, causing a rotation, and then just diverting back to C. There was really no way for EZ5 to know that they were backing off just yet. They didn't really have any forward positioning to get that intel. And it's one of those tough things where if you have a team that gets to plant C and they have all 5 members remaining and they're all able to evacuate long, I mean, you figure you have all the shock darts of Sova, you have Astra who's able to use grav wells and stuns to disrupt the defuse, and then you also have a Killjoy who can throw in nano swarms and again stall out the defuse. There's just so much post-plant utility available, and it just becomes so difficult. On top of that, they can just ping the spike, they can spam through any smokes you throw down. It's a nightmare trying to retake that C site if everyone's able to get safe cover at long C like that.
Well, here comes that war of attrition you were speaking of before on the sewer control, and Kanpeki takes down the Trailblazer, but Critical bodyguards his teammate, deals with Rockart, and because they heard the operator, they felt compelled to try and punish that. Excellent work from EZ5 to hold the line. Yeah,
really good job there, guarding his teammate, as you said, getting him out of a tough situation, and they're going to get him an advantage out of that as well, and they're going to deter that A pressure. In the meantime, though, we do see BBG able to get control of Garage, Spike funneling that direction. However, we do have Pancakes and company in the area. There's Sova also not too far off of rotating as he's sitting inside the site. Now Gucci grabs another frag in sewers and gets some good intel. They can start reinforcing B and C side, and they have a 2-man advantage. It's looking great for EZ5.
Most certainly is. Maybe that win was short-lived. Need to start getting some consistency, but there's not much time, though, to batter out and get the sledgehammer, try and demolish and annul this defense. Trying to raise it to the ground is Trill as he deals with Com, but there's the flick from Kanpeki, and in doing so, only one player remains, which will be Bjor. He started things off with a bang with a headshot to Gucci. There's a second as well, but Pancakes, with his Phantom, makes sure that that bloodshed will come to an abrupt end. 3-1 lead.
Yeah, it's just a situation where EZ5 were able to whittle down BBG to such limited numbers and resources before they ever really got to commit to a site. Again, this was just such a brilliant move. Rawcar looking to punish Kanpeki. Critical bailing him out. Forcing kind of a diversion from BBG, and they could just not get their footing back after that. So that's 3 rounds to EZ5 to the 1 of BBG. They're still able to full buy here. It looks like Poach might be on just the Sheriff. Not quite sure. But they're going to go for something heavy-handed at A, and Kanpeki's looking to greet them. They get smoked off.
They're focusing their attention on sewers, but it's Critical again. Locks it down, the exact same outcome, but this time the spike's been dropped with him. Brutal opener for BBG.
Yeah, it's one of those classic things where you're smoking off the long A cross to threaten sewers and try to deny information to the defense, but you know, EZ5 certainly knows that's possible. Kanpeki will just hold his ground. They trust in Critical to keep an eye on sewers, and he wins his fight. And so does Kanpeki at long. So once again, a very quick 5-on-3 favoring EZ5. Yes, there's lockdown and, you know, Cosmic Nevada available to BBG to try to take the site with, but with such little numbers to hold post plant, it's going to be tough. They might not even use it.
Oh, Kanpeki splatters Bjor up close with the short. He wants to go back in for more. His bloodlust has not been satiated just yet. Slight gap underneath the smoke, but Trill makes the most of it before the spray. The threat from Gucci is good, alongside Pancakes, and again, a 3-player stack on A is too good for EZ5.
Yeah, it's just EZ5 are just getting such great opening picks with, you know, just no real retaliation from BBG. Easy pickings for Kanpeki there, and yeah, Critical just finding that opening shot as well on SoaR car, and then everyone gets revealed off that Recon. And now we have BBG forced to save for the most part. Stinger, a couple upgraded pistols, but it's looking quite grim for BBG coming into this one. Very likely for EZ5 just to keep building up that lead. We are going to see, it looks like a little early mid control from BBG towards Garage.
Ooh, not far off Kanpeki. A different position again. We've seen him sewers, we've seen him A long, and now over on the C side of the map. Very nicely done, keeping BBG on their tiptoes.
Yeah, kind of a trademark of Jet on this map is just being dynamic on those starting locations. There's so many different angles you can take in the opening part of the round to find picks and fade back. That's the power of the Jet mobility. So you are going to see them gathering up for what looks to be a C-split here. They're able to get Garage. They're getting heavy numbers through this tunnel here, and Kanpeki kind of stuck in the back of the site. Might be in some trouble, actually.
Yeah, stuck on the gravity well. Can hear the spike coming in, but still flicks across the trail. The spike will be getting planted down, but at what cost? At the cost of 4 players. And Com will not be contained. He is unrelenting right now, Dust. Ridiculous fragging from the entirety of EZ5, but Com is having a field day.
Indeed, he is. Again, like I said, kind of in that new Cypher role for him. Classic Sova player in his time with Cole, which is kind of his most notable team prior to now. And I've been in the wilderness for a while, but found a home here with EZ5 here lately, and like you said, having a heck of a game here. It's been a tough day at the office so far here for BBG. They do come into this, though, fully bought with 4 ults available, so definitely could see some lockdown. Cosmic Divide with Seekers, you know, can be in the mix as well. They have a lot of different ways to attack right now, though there, of course, is the Hunter's Fury available here, or Critical to shut down the lockdown, so be careful with how you put it in play. My goodness.
Different position again, same outcome. There come the Seekers, but the Blade Storm is there to greet them and cut straight through the attack once more. Com chips in. And how many times, Dust, in the first 15-20 seconds have we seen multiple casualties from BBG without any retaliation whatsoever? This is looking so comfortable for them right now.
Yeah, it's just a combination of Kanpeki's aggressiveness and his, you know, diversity of where he's taking fights and how successful he's able to find frags. And it's also Com just being such a great anchor on that C site with that Cypher utility. Something Dapper popularized way back in the beginnings of this game, and part of the meta now, just a staple of Haven. He's doing a great job, and I mean, what can you say? When Kanpeki's doing this, you're throwing Seekers at him, you're trying to put the heat on him, but he is just keeping his composure and coming out on top each and every time. And that is why EZ5 are just so far out in front. A tactical timeout comes in, and definitely a great time to take one for BBG. I'm not even sure. They just need to either A, do a little bit better with their efficiency on how they're taking the early map control on A side and over towards Garage. They can't get picked off before they even get rolling. Like, you can't really execute any strats if you're down to a 3 versus 5 in the first 10 to 15 seconds because you're just getting caught by aggression, or, you know, you're just getting a little bit sloppy, right? Or you're going to have to just maybe commit to something a bit heavy-handed. You know, obviously the 5-man C hit can always be quite strong because typically there's only going to be 1, maybe 2 members there, and it's a long rotation for the others to get there to help. They have to play for a retake, so BBG, you know, maybe could try something along those lines, or I don't know. Like, I'm just trying to think of some different options they haven't tried yet. Obviously, this round, though, can't say much when it's just a couple of Spectres and Sheriffs in play. But I imagine next round, when you have Lockdown and Cosmic Divide available, I imagine you might be able to see some type of really heavy 5-man C hit, or maybe even a fast B play and just play for post playing out in middle. It seems like these A plays have not really panned out.
Get out of my way. Standing ahead.
Oh, no doubt at all. Yeah, complete agreement with you. Thing is, when you got Lockdown and Cosmic Divide, that's all and good, but if you're losing 2 players right off the rip, it doesn't seem worth using them at that stage.
Right.
So, yeah, it feels like they're trying to push a car, like, up a hill, but they forgot to switch the handbrake off, you know? Maybe that's what the tactical timeout was for, to look at the manual and get that one sorted out. Aldron out for intel. Did spot KO, but nothing else from it, and that means that Kanpeki can try and strike in. Uncharacteristically misses the shot, although it definitely wasn't an easy one.
Ooh,
but he has sent shivers down their spine. This rotation is solid, though, yeah. Bjor's getting around the back of them.
Yeah, this is big. They know that it's possible. They know that they've left B for a bit, so they are a little bit cautious, and that is certainly great news. And there it is. Pancake's going to sniff it out. The spike was actually headed that direction, by the way, other than being an A split. And there's already players here ready to defend, including Gucci, who's able to escape there with the dash, dodging the daggers of Car and getting the frag. Great move by Gucci.
Very nicely done. It will yield a spike plant, but it should be more of the same. Sadly enough, this is one of the closest rounds that BBG have had in quite a while, but Will is keeping the dream alive. Spectre in hand, looking to spit out bullets to any oncoming defenders. Only 2 remain, but one of them is Kanpeki, and his operator will not miss. 7-1.
Yeah, now you're starting to see why Kanpeki is kind of a prospect that some teams have been trialing, including Andbox. They're trying to recover after suffering some heavy losses, including their star player Ye going over to Envy. Kanpeki's certainly been on the short list of a couple of different teams, kind of preparing for either the last chance qualifier for champions or getting prepared for next year.
That goes there.
As he is definitely a jet that can have impact. Very skilled guy, but here's the full buyback for BBG. This is where maybe they can try to implement whatever they were talking about a little bit better during their tactical timeout. I really feel like something heavy-handed early where they have better trading capability is going to be kind of required here. The spread then default has not been working. It looks like they're getting heavy at Garage and Long C for a split.
Kanpeki down with the Cloud Burst affords him safe passage back towards the C side of the map. Bit of damage done, but nothing too significant. And in comes the push, but it's the same outcome. Kanpeki's operator sings once more, but Trill is having his way with a couple players before he is suppressed down by Gucci's Phantom. Spike's also been dropped. Oh, and the guiding light was just a split second too late. Not quick enough to deal. Oh, dear me. I was hopeful there, Dust. There's a couple moments I thought BBG were going to get their second round, but it quickly just slipped away.
Yeah, that null command that came out of Pancake shut down any ability for BBG to get their abilities out there and put some utility on that C site, so it did really just come down to raw aim at that point when you're getting silenced and you're unable to, you know, get the coverage you want with your abilities. And obviously saw Gucci play in the back of the side, able to have some big moments. And so, you know, they did make an adjustment, Vince. They did try to go for something heavy-handed at C, which, you know, again, usually you're able to get control because a lot of teams will sometimes have to play retake on that defensively, but just unable to get control. Now look at this aggression at middle from EZ5. They're looking to take the fight to BBG yet again. At least they caught it.
Yeah, finally. I think, is this one of the first times we've seen BBG actually get the first pick of the round? Perhaps it is, but now Hunter's Fury behind it. They want to bite down on this hard while they can, and Bjorn gets a second. Gucci was forced out of position. Unfortunate timing, though, as Trill gets caught by Com. And at least it does give EZ5 a chance back into this round, but the C side hasn't quite fallen just yet alongside B. In comes Critical. Big headshot, but Poach is there to counteract.
Yeah, at least they were able to limit Critical to just the one. If he could have gotten a double there, that would have been a problem. As they lock down, they get full control of B site here. They're able to take Com out now as well. It's all on Kanpeki. Turret will spot him any moment now. He smokes it, but it's already done its job. As he tries to come in, he gets one, but can he do more?
Oh, he can. He's taken down Bjorn as well. And so that turret is no longer effective. In with the shorty. Oh, only 1 HP left. 9 in total, actually. But it will be enough to get BBG across the finish line.
Oh, that is so nail-bitingly close. You have to be breathing a huge sigh of relief for BBG because it really feels like it should have never came this close. He had a 3 versus 1 at one point against Kanpeki. He knew exactly where he was because of the turret. And the guiding light coming in for a flash as well. And yet, Kanpeki almost had his individual prowess come through. BBG, a much-needed round to at least be competitive in this one. Still 2 more left to play this half, and they need both of them.
Revealing area.
Yeah, it does feel like they need to win out here to make this a competitive one, and that may not even be enough, but in the meanwhile, Kanpeki, not for the first time, pushes down sewers and cleans out BBG. Rakar, the opposition jet, has been dealt with accordingly.
Yeah, that's reveal on him. I believe that was a recon bolt that got fired off over the wall. Gets his location away, gets Kanpeki to jump in that duel. Bior able to at least even things out, but now we have him stuck in the corner, and Critical will punish with the shock dart. So EZ5 just consistently staying a man ahead. Calm darts Will, takes him out. I mean, it's just the EZ5 show.
Okay. Trill wants to try and put an end to this show. He, you know, wants to start his own one. going to be a solo podcast for the time being. There's a shot dart again, and the Hunter's Fury. Not quite quick enough to deny the spike plant, but quick enough to deny Poach's life on the retreat, leaving it down to Trill. They know where he roughly is, as he did strike earlier on. Recon bolt goes slightly awry.
Yeah, just a bit. Just nowhere to be seen, of course.
Trill can't finish off the kill, though, and gets picked off from behind. So EZ5 will move to 9, and BBG still stuck on 2.
Yeah, this is getting pretty devastating if you're BBG. Again, a team that looked so hot when the team first came together. Upset over Sentinels, qualifying for Challengers in Stage 2. A team that's always kind of been in the mix in the NA scene, in the VCT circuit, but since then, they've been shut out of VCT, not even qualifying for any further Challengers events, and they've had a couple other bumps in the road here as well. And EZ5 is a team that has consistently played well in these smaller events. Like, when you look at some of the different Nerd Street Summer Series events they've played in, they've won a couple of them. So, always a team that can do well in these types of events, and they're certainly starting off strong here on Haven.
You are divided.
Cosmic Divide is out. They're feeling desperate to push in, but Critical just spins into the air and plucks Rockart out. Clay Pigeon shooting to the dome.
That SoaR car has been getting consistently shut down, man. Normally a very strong player. He was also recruited alongside Poach back in April, and he's just not able to create those openings that his team needs. Poach able to catch Calm's flank at the very least, but knowing's half the battle. As Campek, he finds a vulnerability and comes in to strike, keeping the man advantage here for EZ5. Now, C has been left open. They will take it. They will get the spike down. They might be able to get the Astra utility and the shock darts to kind of guard the defuse, but Gucci makes such a big rotation.
One enemy remaining.
Trill does catch Gucci, who had utility on his mind, and so Trill now has it all to do. Sheriff in hand, can't connect the shot. EZ5 will already hit double digits going into the second half. This is looking grim, Dust.
Yeah, they really needed to be able to catch Gucci, get spike down, maybe get safely on long C and set up post-plant utility to have a real crack at that, but Gucci catches the sky, and they're just unable to solidify it. That's 10-2 in favor of EZ5. Such a dominant half. We'll see if they can keep it up after a short break.
A first half that will be one BBG want to forget in a hurry, with Kanpeki accruing 18 frags. It really was the Kanpeki showed us. He was unreal.
He was, and, you know, definitely Calm being a great seaside anchor defensively as well, that must be said. And really just great support out of Pancakes and Critical throughout to kind of set up Kanpeki in a lot of different situations. So certainly everyone doing their job on EZ5, as we are going to see tables turn. EZ5 on the attack. Critical droning out into B site. Not spotting anything. The rest looking to go A. It should be spotted by Poach any moment now, indeed. Able to get a little bit of a jiggle peek off. Doesn't have any support, though, so kind of has to back off and maybe just play for retake here. Indeed, that's going to be the option.
EZ5 pushing as 5 onto the A side of the map. Post plant coming in to play quick. Oh, that shock dot's perfect. And a second! Poach just is in the head of Gucci. Spots him, deals with him, and already a 4v5 takes shape.
Yeah, that is really brilliant work there by Poach. Just perfect shock darts for that plant location. Like you said, gives them the main advantage now on this retake, but they still have to press all the way back forward. That spike is a very open plant. A lot of ways to defend things.
Beautiful headshot from Critical, splattering with the right click, but it's starting to fall into the favor of BBG. They've got to hold on to this. They need to deal with Com. He started the first half so well, and he's starting to pick up the pace again. It's already 2 frags, make it 3. Oh, he runs out of ammunition. The bullets let him down. The magazine depleted, and his health bar goes with it. BBG can breathe a sigh of relief.
Oh my goodness. They can and they can't, Vince. Think about it. Of the 3 rounds they have won, 2 of those have come down to tense 1v1s where it looked like they were about to get clutched on. It was Kanpeki in a 1v3 on B site in the first half here. It's Com, I believe, a 1 versus 4. Almost pulls it off. Nothing has come easy for BBG. But at least they got it. But look at the aggression from EZ5. They're looking to go Spectre for Spectre. They know how much damage they did there. They know they have a chance to pull one out early, and they're going to go for it, Vince. You hardly ever see these types of rounds, but we're going to see it here, an all-out Spectre brawl.
Just shows how crushing that pistol was, even though they win. And now Bjor looking for the opportunity, gets traded out, but all the bodies, they hit the floor by and large, will read EZ5. BBG, an excellent advantage. Just got a little bit sweeter, but it's that man again, the nemesis. The nightmare that's haunting BBG's dreams, but they've dealt with him and swept him under the rug again for the time being.
Yeah, really good defense there. Able to kind of disrupt the garage portion of that attack early on. Good hold on the side as well. Big win for them. Much needed. It does put EZ5 into just sheriffs now. So it should be an easier time for BBG to build up to that 5 mark. And they can basically buy on the same schedule as EZ5 in the next round if they so choose. Or they can continue to roll the Spectres forward. They'll have their options there, but for this, just about making sure you don't fall prey to the low buy.
I suppose if we're trying to look on the positive spin on things, is this round should be fairly straightforward for BBG. A lot of those opening rounds in the first half did pretty much fall into 3v5s off very aggressive peaks from the likes of Kanpeki and Com. Maybe when the roles are reversed, then EZ5 can't be as aggressive and can't quite nail things with the operator as easily. Maybe this is BBG's inroad and their way back in here, does it? Their defensive side is going to bode much better. I hope so, from a neutral's perspective.
Sure. I mean, it really just comes down to how coordinated your retakes are. I mean, a lot of the time with this map being so large, attacking sides usually are going to have the advantage on taking control of sites because you're just spread a little bit thin and you're forced to make decisions on, you know, overstacking or over-rotating or just playing straight up for a retake. And I think it'll just come down to how well BBG are prepared for those situations, because there's no doubt in my mind that, you know, the way that Kanpeki can play this Jet and the way that he has the support behind him, they're definitely going to have some explosive site hits and some post-plan situations ahead of them. So that'll be really the tell of the tape, so to speak.
ROKKR with eyes towards the entrance of B. Will be dwindled off now with a bit of utility and Critical. Threads through the smoke into the head. 3-play-3. Neural Theft has been deployed though, and now maybe they can try and clean this one up. Trill with the Spectre runs and guns into 2. Pancakes forced out into the open, and BBG will hold the line. And that got a little bit sweaty for a few moments.
Again, it's that consistent theme of BBG not getting anything easy. That's around when it comes down to a 3-on-3, where we're able to see Com get off a Neural Theft, get perfect intel on where the remaining defenders are, and actually maybe have a crack at that. BBG able to hold on though, yet again. They've all won their 3 rounds this half, so keeping the comeback climb going. They come into this now with daggers and Cosmic Divide, which can be, you know, a great retake tool, in particular for Trill in play. He's also having a heck of a game. Up to 17. One of the newer players to the team coming in. believe he's from like Australia or something, or New Zealand. So interesting. I believe he lives in NA now, of course, but
yeah, I was going to say it would be a grim ping. It did. I don't think he saw.
No, that's wild. That's a big catch because of it. Gucci able to get away as well with the paranoia.
Huge pick. Minimal damage inflicted on the return as well. Now they can try and lock this one down, but will alleviating a bit of the pressure. The Seekers also deployed out. Will try and find a bit of prey, and they'll do just that. One of the first times that we can say that ROKERS had the upper hand onto Kampeki. For the most part, that first half was all one-way traffic. And now Will, with a guiding light, will be going back out again. Needs to tread lightly, though, but he maybe not. Maybe has full confidence in himself for a reason. Just takes the head of Com clean off, leaving 2 players remaining on long, one of which is a very low Gucci. He will be feeling worse for wear on his approach. 40 seconds to play with, and now the rotations are in. They actually are watching back towards spawn. There is no retreat. There is no surrender here for EZ5. If they're going to live out this round, they're going to have to go through this defense, and instead they're moving into a barrage of bullets from Bjor. 10-6, and BBG making a real case for this comeback.
Yeah, I mean, that's their most confident win I can recall this entire game. I mean, they win, only lose 1 player, and they keep their composure despite, you know, an early affair going against them. Gucci gets his that catch after the Trailblazer bypasses him, able to get the jump on a guy, give his team the opening pick, and BBG still able to hold on despite all of that. And now they get an easier affair, what should at least be a less difficult time, as it's only chairs against them coming into this one.
Out comes the KO. Nothing really there for him to pivot off, and it seems like EZ5 decided to go for a little bit more of a one-dimensional approach, and that's just going to be aggression up middle, but it's the same outcome. ROKERS, again with that Vandal, putting down the pain, putting down the misery, and with a dark cover in their eyes, they'll try and relocate and get out of there, but Killjoy's already littered Garage with a whole ton of utility. It's going to be a difficult ask for them to break through here.
Certainly true. The utility shutting down Kampeki's forward advancement on Garage, but it won't stop that bullet. As we are going to see the Sheriff come out here and do its damage. It evens it back up into a 4-on-4 situation. We are going to see the attack start to pivot back over towards A side. Pancake still doing a great job keeping presence on C, keeping the defense interested, trying to set up a bit of a fake, so to speak, but he gets caught on his escape, and that will give BBG the numbers. Even if A site folds, they have the numbers to retake with, and again, the superior firepower.
Oh, yeah.
30 seconds left.
Yep, well.
Even though the drone was destroyed, it was enough for Poach to spot multiple players coming in, so he did a bit of damage through the wall. And out come the darts.
That's gonna kill him.
It is indeed gonna kill him. Nails the Omen in the head, denies the spike plant. 14 seconds to play with. Will is now coming onto the side, trying to spray through the smokes, but there's no hope for Com surely to get this one clutch. There's guiding lights. Nice one tap onto Trill, but it's just a drop in the bucket because BBG have just won their 5th round in a row.
Yeah, they're really starting to climb back into this. And that's one of those situations where smoking Heaven actually winds up harming you on the attacking side because you're basically giving free cover to Poach to get a shock dart off, and you know he's going to know those lineups, and you know your planner's already weakened. It's one of those situations where you probably just want to leave Heaven open, and that way Poach has to reveal himself if he's going to line up that shock dart. You can maybe take him out, prevent that shock dart from landing, make sure you get the spike plant, then you smoke Heaven off. So it's just one of those timing things that certainly favored Poach there, and BBG, like you said, winning all the rounds so far this half. And now ROKERS, gets caught by the drone, but able to escape at least.
And this Fury comes out. Not really sticking the landing, though, for the time being. Oh, from the shadows. Has been popped onto the server as well. And it'll have Gucci chilling in the upper window area, just having a peek over from Heaven. Now, surely Poach has a good idea as to what could be coming up here. Especially as a Cloudburst has now come down. He's going to try and bide his time. Wait, there's one kill. That may be good enough. Even if he falls, it gives enough of the time for the rest of his team to come in. And Poach strikes for a second time. The utility on point from the Astra. Oh, and everything else is just falling into place magically for BBG. EZ5 looked so good coming into this second half, but they've been brought back to earth with authority. And now Com, if he wants to push, it'll have to be through the cosmic divide that is now dissipated. Only 38 seconds on the clock, and I mean, as good as he is, as good as he's been in these clutches, Dust, I think this may be a bridge too far.
Yeah, it does seem that way. Just
30
huge
seconds
tip of the
left.
hat there, the coach, right? I think he had a pretty good idea of where that from the shadows was headed. Just stays under heaven, bides his time. He spots where the paranoia comes from, so now he's guaranteed the location of where that Omen has ulted. He can relay that information to his team. He gets his 2 kills while playing under here. Again, there was a paranoia that flew by him, so yeah, now he knows Omen's up top. This means that when his teammates come through, they know to look up there. They take him down. That's going to be courtesy of Will. And eventually they finish it off with a flawless victory. So yeah, that lead has shrunk severely, and it's only shares up the bat here for EZ5. Their attacking side has been grim. And we might have a game on our hands all of a sudden now, Vince. Coach getting aggressive with the Thunder Fury off the rip. Going to get some tags. Trill able with Will to get aggressive at middle as well and get a frag to open things up. Rarkar quick to combo it. Not looking good.
Oh, it's looking like more of the same. Pancakes, though, with a heater of a shot onto Rarkar. He had the operator, he had the advantage and still lost his head. So maybe there is a way back in after all. The operator can trade hands, and we saw just what Kanpeki can do with it. Yeah. As a point of reference, by the way, he ended the first half on 18 frags. He is still on 18 frags. In 6 rounds, he is yet to get off the mark.
Yeah, it's definitely a situation, even now that he has an operator in his hands, it's harder to make it useful on the attacking side. There are movement penalties that will affect you more as you're swinging angles as opposed to holding them. So he's got to be pretty crafty with it. Now, it looks like they will find a free C site, so they will likely get a plant. The problem is they don't have that much post-plant utility that could actually disrupt the defuse. Maybe a fragment from Pancakes on the KO, but it's really going to come down more to them either staying on-site post-plant and just, you know, guarding these choke points, or
30 seconds left.
You know, just winning their gunfights through smokes and things of that nature. And you can see they're electing to play on-site because they have to. They don't really have the post-plant utility required to play off-site. So let's see what they can do. They are a man behind.
It feels like so much of this rests on Kanpeki's shoulders with that operator. Whether he can nail a couple of shots and maybe give him a chance to shock dart is good. Pancakes will be feeling that one. Electricity coursing through his veins. Here comes the guiding light. Does connect, and Kanpeki misses. Can Teal out of there before getting traded out. Trill still holds the line. Big shot, though, from Pancakes and his Sheriff. Oh, and a second as well. Spins in, pivots in, removes the head, but Bjor is too fast on the draw. It's going to be close. It's going to be very close, but BBG have the defuse with 1.5 seconds to spare.
Oh, Pancakes, though, you have to tip your hat to him. He certainly gave it a brilliant go. He's the one who got him in the round with that pick to get an operator into Kanpeki's hands, and then he finishes it off with a couple of more brilliant shots on site in the post plant. Kanpeki, unfortunately, goes wide on a couple of his shots, but Pancakes stepped up and tried to deliver a brilliant hat trick, a nice highlight reel moment, but not good enough. BBG's retake does secure them in 9th round. Now they're 1 away from tying. And yeah, now this game is all of a sudden getting real spicy.
I suppose if you're trying to look at the positives, though, for EZ5, they had very little utility, very much a lack of weaponry, and nearly got it to work. Yes, it's 7 rounds in a row, but try and focus on the positives. That being said, though, BBG are loving life right now. 10-2 to 10-9, and now the aggression comes in towards the site. It will be Kanpeki taking the initiative. Tailwind through with the updraft, and with the Blade Storm alongside him, he is certainly going to pose a threat. A post plant with all 10 players alive.
Indeed.
Here.
Have to rely on that fragment and some shock guards to try to guard the fuses, but they try to push it to garage and they get shut down by Will. What a spray down.
Oh my god. Nothing is going the way of EZ5 all of a sudden. They couldn't miss in the first half. And although a neural theft and the lockdown have been put into position, the diffuser's coming in, and Com has to spray, has to show his position. And in doing so, Trill will take a brisk headshot, making sure they pick up all the weaponry they need before the defuse comes in. Suddenly, we are all even. BBG have hit double digits.
Indeed, they have. They squared it all up. They have been flawless on the defense. And that really just comes down to a lot of utility spent by EZ5 to get side control, but they elect to go for this play as opposed to playing back at long C. They're trying to use those daggers in a close-range fight, and they just get absolutely crushed by Will, who's had a quiet game, to be fair, particularly in that first half, but now coming alive in a critical moment. helping square this thing up. And now this round means more than anything else for EZ5. If they lose this, their economy is done for. And BBG will have such an edge to close.
Now, you said going into this map, it's been a bit of a 50-50, a little bit of an inconsistent map for EZ5, and I think that really has been the tale that's been told here. A tale of two halves here does so far. Ugh. Rakar now taking a leaf out of Kanpeki's book, puts down the authority with the operator through sewers.
It's also worth noting, you know, with that, EZ5's attack has been the issue why this map's been 50 for them. They've been averaging only about 4 attacking rounds per map the last 10 times they've played Haven. So that has been a consistent theme with EZ5 is getting their attack rolling on this map. And it's come to fruition here again, Vince. They've always been able to pull out pretty big defenses of like 9 or more rounds in many of their previous games throughout the month of July, but just could never really get that attack going, and it's happened again.
Well, the way things are going, they may accrue a grand total of 0 rounds on their attack side if this continues in this pace. 30 seconds to play with. Rakar, who's got a couple of frags over on sewers, is now moved over on the long side. Cloudburst down to just buy him up a little bit more time. And speaking of time, it's running out for EZ5. They've got to get a move on. Shimmy towards the site. Pick up the pace. 15 seconds now. As Guiding Light is being deployed, and it's good. Poach picks up 2 in quick succession. And Critical stuck in an awkward position. Gets sprayed into oblivion. And for the first time, BBG lead.
Indeed, they do, and again, that money is running real dry for EZ5. They can afford a couple of bigger weapons, but they're mostly going to be relying on upgraded pistols and Spectres. As we're starting to see Rakar now come alive. We talked about how in the first half, a lot of his aggression was getting shut down by Kanpeki and company, particularly on the A side. However, with him switching to the defense, he can start dictating the pace with how to take some of these duels with the operator in the early rounds, similar to what Kanpeki was doing, and he's starting to really get into it. And that's a big one. That gets them, like you said, their first lead. They have economic advantage coming into the moment where they're going for their map point. And so definitely understandable that EZ5 would want to take some extra time to calm down and think things through. It's just hard to know what to do because nothing has worked. I mean, yeah, they've been able to take some sites, particularly C. They've had some success getting control of that area. But they just never really seem to be able to stay a step ahead from that point forward. They're either already at a man disadvantage as the retake's coming in, or they just don't seem to really have like a good game plan for how to play out the post plant. You know, the one time that they got it, they tried to go for an aggressive garage push and they got caught. And the thing is, with their composition, outside of some shock darts, they don't have that much like post plant utility to disrupt diffuses. I mean, on the flip side, when it was Astra and Killjoy and, you know, Sova, that's a lot you can throw at the spike to stop it from getting diffused. You don't really have that luxury with this composition from EZ5.
A lot of good points. We'll have to see if they can turn this one around post the tactical timeout. Trailblazer from Will gets the scouting intel that he was looking for. Aldrone, though, in return, very much the same. They used that opportunity to try and push through the sewers towards the site now. They're going to be picking up the pace. EZ5 decide if they're going to go out, they're going to go out on their shield. Not whimpering, but with a bark.
Yep.
And another post plant comes in. This feels like it's one of their best opportunities, though, Dust.
Yeah, they still have Fragment available as well, as long as Pain Case can stay alive. Shock darts coming in from Poach to clear out behind Sight Box. Here comes the Fragment, but now they're not going to have it for later on to stop the Spike Diffuse. So this could occur back to haunt them as Rakar goes for the up and over. Doesn't spot anything. This is great from EZ5. They're not showing anything.
Oh, Com showing his position now, but it's at the cost of Rakar's life, and they can't quite spin onto him in time. Pancakes in the meanwhile, though, getting aggressive. 2-play-2, but both the remaining BBG players are low. Will still puts down the frag, and here comes the Sheriff from Critical. 1 kill in, needs to go 1 better to get their first round on this attack side. Time is running scarce, and so are the members of BBG. Finally, EZ5 have something to be happy about on their attack side.
Yeah, again, a really strong take. Powerful utility with the smokes on heaven and low side. Flashes coming in. They battle through the counter utility of Will. They get in there. They force a 5-on-5 retake out of BBG. And you can see Rakar tries to go up and over with this ult. Doesn't spot anything. EZ5 played really disciplined. They don't give anything away. They force BBG to come in on site. And then Com finds the perfect moment to backstab and disrupt the retake right as it's about to get underway. So really good job there by EZ5. Their first attacking round of the game. It comes at just the right moment where money is low. When BBG's approaching map point, they just hold them off.
It's a great round, but I think BBG will be unshaken. Their resolve will be feeling still 100%, I'm sure, considering how well this half has gone. They'll feel like that's just the exception to the rule, you know? That's the freak occurrence.
Exactly. Hoping that's the outlier, as we are going to see them reinforce Garage and see with plenty of Astra and Killjoy utility. Aggressive angle being held here by Rarkar at SoaR, so he has perfect intel on the A side of the map. This allows BBG to feel confident and stacking on the opposing side. So that means they're going to have a brunt defense in place. They don't have to play for retake this time around, Vince. They can just defend.
And as Fury's out, does force away some of the defenders, scatters them from the shadows, also put to the back of the site, but gets denied. But in the meanwhile, Trill is still here. Biora is chipped in for 2, and all those paranoias, his dark covers, and everything being thrown at the back of this site, BBG are holding the line. But here comes the sledgehammer, here comes the back-breaking moment perhaps, but Bior says no. He triples up with the Phantom, and now Com, all that remains, and he's given his position away. They have a good crossfire established. If he takes down one, he should be traded instantly, but Bior will pick up his 4K, and BBG pick up their first map point.
Yeah, it's just a combination of having good information with Rarkar, having that forward angle on A side, and just having a lot of utility prepared between the Killjoy and the Astra to disrupt the efficiency of the C attack and to just be able to battle back from that point forward. It got close, don't get me wrong. Some good efforts from EZ5, but just not quite enough. And so now it still could be BBG finding the victory. They have a lot of powerful tools up here, Vince. They have a lockdown, which could be great for a retake. There's no Hunter's Tree to cancel it out. They have Contact Divide, which can also be great for retaking as well. And they also have EZ5, again, up against the ropes as far as what they could afford to bring into this one. So a lot of things really helping BBG here.
One chance at OT on EZ5. 1 round on the half. If you have just joined us, it ended 10-2 after the first half, and that was the EZ5, by the way.
I mean, Rarkar's definitely detected at least 2 or 3 members here outside A lobby just based on all the utility that's been thrown at him here. They've also cleared out middle with the Trailblazer. Now the Aldrome comes in from the opposing side from Poach, so that they know what they're up against. They have plenty of personnel in the area to defend it. The only problem is that they don't know about this move coming out from Com through B site, though I think it has now been detected.
Yeah, the cage got triggered, as does the head of Pancakes, and that's with a bullet passing straight through it. Rarkar doubles up. SoaR's his domain.
They have no idea about it, by the way.
They really don't, because Rarkar's taking all the damage. He's taking the brunt of this. Here's the Hunter's Fury as well, and it's all falling into place. It looks so grim, and BBG have pulled off the comeback from 10-2.